huge increase in attendees and in participation. In our bodybuilding, figure fitness, and bikini events, we had almost 100% increase. We went from 250 athletes to 475 entries. So we're really excited on how that's taken off.
Okay, and then you walk back to the diagonal. Stop at back. And then everybody's gonna line up diagonally. Do not exit. Stay in line, then they're gonna call out. Okay? It's great. I've enjoyed it. It's really busy. It's always long. It's tiring. But I mean, for the most part, it's so much fun because you meet new people. You get to network. But I mean, the model surge has been good. It's been good. There's not as many men in it this year, which is a little disappointing. Men really love competition, but the girls, they look great. You know, they really love the exposure. So I really can't complain about that. It's always a success.
Well, my name is Bob Ciccarello, and I'm a host. Actually, I host all the main pro shows and a lot of expos like this here, including Mr. Olympia. I go way back. I've been involved since 1979, believe it or not. At 12, 13 years old, I started bodybuilding and decided to compete. Entered my first show at 13 years old and been doing it ever since. Well, this is the third year of the Toronto Pro. I've been on it since day one with Ron Hachet, kind of helping him out a little bit behind the scenes as well as in the microphone. And you've seen really, we talk about the growth in terms of classes and bodybuilding and the federations. Expos like this are a great example. Now, first year was good, and it was probably one of the best first year expos I ever seen. But comparing the first year to the second year to the third year has been absolutely remarkable.
Well, my name is Dr. Paul Poirier. I'm a chiropractor for the last 16 years.
Tell me about your story.
Well, my story is pretty straightforward. I had a brain tumor while I was in my last year of chiropractic school in 1995, and I was basically told that I had a malignant brain tumor, which is just benign and malignant. Benign means it's a lot worse, your days are numbered. And I had the surgery several months later in 95, and then I still had about 6 months of schooling to finish to graduate. So I went back to finish my degree in California, and then finally I came back to Quebec, opened my practice in 1997. Was clean, I was good for about 10 years, and then in 2005 I got re-diagnosed. The tumor had come back, so I had to undergo another surgery, so I had brain surgery number 2, which was not really successful because I contracted the Staph aureus bacterium. I ended up being on a special PICC line for about 9 months, and I couldn't work. I had a third surgery to basically put in, they couldn't put my skull back in because it had putrefied from the pus that had developed from the staph infection. So they put in a metal plate. So in total I've had 4 brain surgeries so far. And then the story goes that I had the opportunity to meet with Arnold Schwarzenegger in 2011, and he had a film festival at the time. And I wanted to basically pick his brain and find out how I could develop my cause to make it bigger. And so he had a guy named Jim Hearn, who basically was the chairman of the Sports Film Festival, and he had convinced me that it might be a good idea to make a documentary film about my story. And we put together a film during the last 18 months. And so the name of the film is The Test of a Man. And along the way I also ended up getting Ronnie Coleman to be my long distance trainer to kind of get me back into shape. Not to become a full-out bodybuilder like these guys, but more just to get back into shape and show to people that, you know, just because you get diagnosed with something doesn't mean you can't go on and life is over. And basically I'm still living proof that I've gotten through it all. I've had those 4 brain surgeries. I've done 2 years of chemo back to back from 2010 till 2012. And now I'm off to chemo for probably another 2-3 months, and then I'll probably have to start it again. But otherwise, I'm still alive. Where do I get my strength? I don't know where I get my strength. I don't know. I just figure most people usually die by the 15th year with the kind of tumor that I had. Mine is very similar to what Ted Kennedy had, who was Arnold Schwarzenegger's uncle. And so I shouldn't really be around at this point, yet I'm still around 18 years after, since the first surgery. I met a fella a year ago, 2 years ago, who won the Arnold Schwarzenegger Sports Film Festival in 2011. His name is Nick Scott. He was in a wheelchair from a car accident. He'd been flipped over several times over in his car, and yet he became legless in the sense that he can't use his legs anymore. So he created a bodybuilding for using wheelchairs, and that's his new sort of venue. That's what he's doing with his life now. But basically he's transformed himself he's reinvented himself into something else, which is very commendable for himself as well. So there is no excuse for anyone to not do something with their lives. There's always more that can be done.
Car accident at 16 years of age. Diagnosed him as a paraplegic. He's been in a wheelchair for 15 years. And that has not stopped his enthusiasm and his love for bodybuilding. He's turned it into a career. He's a professional speaker, professional wheelchair ballroom dancer, a sponsored athlete of bodybuilding.com and Muscle Farm. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder and CEO of Wheelchair Athletics, Inc. Let's give it up for my good buddy, Nick, the Beast, Scott.
I've been traveling the world, and I did about close to 100 bodybuilding shows around the world. And, this isn't about me or wheelchair bodybuilding, wheelchair dancing. It's about to show others that anything is possible. And that's what it is. When I was in that bed, when I was 16, the doctors diagnosed me as paraplegic, and they told me you would never walk again. I realized what's the one thing you gain from losing everything, and that's perspective. So instead of focusing on what I couldn't do, I focused on what I could do, and I found this. Yeah. In the process, there's only one wheelchair bodybuilder in the world, it's actually IFBB. And it's in the process that we're talking about bringing the IFBB Pro Wheelchair Championship, the wheelchair division added in the 2014 Toronto Pro. It's in the works. And we're the 2 shows a year. Yeah!
What advice would you give someone to get them into routine? Someone who's sedentary, maybe a couch potato. What advice would you give them to get off that couch and get into it?
Start slow, set goals, and just think about it every day.
In anything in life, it's a positive attitude and believing in yourself.
Healthy lifestyle, dedicated training, but overall healthy lifestyle.
There's not really a secret. If you like what you do, you're going to accomplish whatever you dream for, right?
Find an activity that you enjoy doing, whether it be biking, swimming, walking,
anything to get active.
You really have to have that aha moment when you really, really want to change, because you can't just do it for a day or a week. You really have to dedicate yourself. It's a total lifestyle change. It's not a diet. It's not joining a gym for a year. It's a lifestyle change.
Start off slow, but don't ever quit. Don't ever give up. It takes time for anyone to get to any type of goal.
no one can take away your hard work.
Don't think of it as, oh, I've been going at this for 3 weeks and I don't see results. Well, you see yourself in the mirror every day, so it's harder for you to see those results.
I'm not working out because I'm just big and fat and I'm lazy. Well, that's not an excuse. That's just a state of mind that you kind of cemented for yourself. So I try to get people in my own practice as a chiropractor, I kind of shake them up and get them to do something more physical whenever they can, and more often than not, I get them to either join a gym or buy a dog and walk your dog around the block. Just get some exercise, get the blood pumping through your joints. That's the bottom line.